when you work out and eat healthy, but you feel like no matter what you do, it's really hard for you to gain the weight or to drop the weight or to gain the muscle or to maybe you get the results you want, but you don't enjoy it. Like you feel like, oh, I can't do this forever. Like this sucks. Um, and I really want to talk today in this video about this whole concept, this whole idea around fitness and nutrition, but from an energetic point of view. I just feel like there is a lot of content out there on the internet that is about fitness and nutrition, but no one really that I've seen, I guess maybe there is some out there, but no one really talks about it from like an energetic standpoint. And I really talk about, yeah, like energy in general, but also like specifically the energy centers. If you don't know me already, my name is Hannah. If it's your first time here, welcome and or welcome back. I'm an intuitive chakra coach, energy healer, and somatic guide. If you know or if you don't know, I used to be a fitness and nutrition coach for many years, working specifically with people on overcoming negative relationship with food and body image. And this video is for those who are committed to their fitness and nutrition journey, or whether if they want to start their fitness and nutrition journey, or whether if they're on the fitness and nutrition journey, but maybe something feels, I don't know, very restrictive or like not really sustainable, or even if you are practicing mindful eating, which is what I used to teach, there's more to it from an energetic perspective. So one thing I talk a lot about is the energy that you come from. And that goes to when it comes to fitness and nutrition, but really that comes to anything that you can think of, anything in life. So I want to give you the example of fitness and nutrition, but I want to invite you to take this example and apply it to every area of in your life, because as above, so below, as within, so without, right? Like it's the same idea goes into anything that is showing up in your life. And don't worry, I'll give you exact examples and dive really deep into what I'm trying to say here. First of all, I want to share with you that I used to be this person that when I started my fitness journey, it was in 2014. I started my fitness journey, and I used to come from a place of I have to change myself. I hate how I look. I hate my body. I don't like the way I feel. I really want to change it. Maybe if I'll change my body and I'll be skinnier, I will find relationship and blah 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 blah. And you probably someone who has experienced that in the past, or maybe it's something that you are experiencing now, or if you know people in your life that are experiencing this, because I just feel like this is something that is such a huge phenomenon in our society, because the messages that we're also seeing our society like out there in the world is we're being bombarded with this everywhere we look, even if it's like in a movie someone say a comment and it's like it goes into our subconscious, and like we don't even know where did we get this idea from. Maybe we saw, when we grew up we saw some our mother or our cousin or whatever it is, we saw someone that talk to their body in a certain way, or like say comments like, oh, I really have to be skinny because I want to look good, or whatever the message is, right? So I just do want to say, like, I feel like we all picked it up in some way, shape, or form. And so I used to do this, and then I decided to become a fitness coach. And of course, that was a whole thing. I'm not going to go into the story of like my evolution as a fitness coach. But towards the end of my fitness and nutrition career, I really dove into a relationship with food and negative body image, and specifically at the end, working with the chakras, like really seeing like where is it manifesting in the chakras, in our energy centers within our bodies, from an energetic standpoint, that is impacting our negative body image or negative relationship with food, or food addiction, eating disorders, overeating, emotional eating, you name it. body dysmorphia, really anything like in those realms. So towards the end of my fitness and nutrition career, I really added the chakras because I was really into the chakras already. And I was working with people specifically on finding the root cause in the chakras, in the energetic body that is causing this relationship with food. Because when we have emotional eating, when we have food addiction, when we have a negative body image, this is just a symptom. It's a symptom to a deeper root cause. And usually the root cause starts in the energetic body, which is, if you're someone that's new to my videos, this is something I talk a lot about on my YouTube videos, about the chakras, about the energy body, about how everything starts in the energy. Not just in within our body, of course within our body, but also everything in this reality, the roots are in the energy. The roots are in the unseen. The roots are in the energy field. We're talking trauma, a pattern, a relationship, whether if it's a relationship with my mother, with my sister, with my partner, whether if it's a relationship with food, relationship with money, relationship to my mind, relationship to my house, like whatever it is, everything starts in energy. And there's energetic root for everything that we are experiencing. And then from the energy, it goes to then to the subtle body, which the subtle body includes thoughts, emotions, and all of the senses. And then slowest to manifest into the physical body. And that's where we start getting disease or illnesses or chronic disease or autoimmune or all of these things. So I just like to work with the roots of where it starts from. So I realized, like, okay, when we talk about negative body image and body dysmorphia or like negative relationship to self, a lot of the times it is manifest in the third energy center, in the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is all about our sense of self. It's all about our sense of self, our identity in the world, who we are, our self-worth, our self-esteem, right? It's like, who am I, right? When we are experiencing a certain like negative image towards ourselves, usually it manifests in the solar plexus, but a lot of times if we go a little deeper, we could even find a little bit deeper root, and that could look like something like, it wasn't safe for me to be myself. So now we're talking about safety, and safety is manifested in the root chakra, the first energy center. Emotional eating, food addiction, eating disorders, bulimia, all of the things related to relationship with food. A lot of times we speak about, again, safety, like it wasn't safe, or maybe the second energy center. A lot of the times would be, it was not safe to feel our emotions. So instead of feeling our emotions, I'm turning to food. Or food addiction. Addiction is usually like manifested in the second energy center, the sacral chakra. And that's where we haven't experienced nurturing and we haven't experienced pleasure, real pleasure. And then we develop this pattern, this mechanism, addiction. And it could be addiction to food, addiction to porn, addiction to substances, to alcohol, to work, whatever addiction, addiction to make sense of things. We're all addicted to some things, right? And it's, if we look at the root, a lot of the times it's like lack of nurturing, like we didn't receive the nurturing that we inherently needed, because all humans need nurturing. We need love, we need touch, we need nurturing, we need connection. And when we don't feel that, then we kind of putting it on something external, and then it's like almost like we get that fake nurturing or that fake thing that we need to fill up a hole, because we don't know how to do it otherwise, especially if addiction is running in the family, which is usually something, if you're someone that has experienced addiction or you have people in your family that experiencing addiction, you can maybe see in your family line and see most of the times there's a few people in the family line that have addiction, because it's a generational pattern. It's a generational trauma and programming that's being passed down through the family line. And that's just a little bit about addiction. So and a lot of the times, like, let's say if someone is having a hard time going to the gym, they really don't feel motivated, don't have the willpower, they feel lazy. That's usually solar plexus, the third energy center. And a lot of the times it'll sit on a place of lack of self-worth. Like there is a deep, deep, deep message. A lot of the times, like I share a lot about, like those deep roots, root of the root cause of the symptom, basically, a lot of the times we're not even aware of because it's so deep in there that we're not even aware of. And when we are not even aware of the deep root cause, we have nothing to work with. We can't work with anything because we're not aware of of the deep. So instead of working on the root and healing the root and transmute that energy of the root cause of what's causing these symptoms, we're just keep on trying to fix the symptom. I'm trying to fix my, I'm trying to force myself to go to the gym. I'm trying to, to force myself to stick into a diet, or I'm trying to, force myself to stop emotional eat without really looking at the root cause and just heal the root cause. Because once you heal the root cause and the energy, guess what? Once we shift the energy structure of the root of the energetic of the root of whatever it is that we're experiencing, of whatever it is the symptom is, once we go to the root and we shift or transform that energy, because energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed or transmuted. Once we go into the root and we transmute the energy of the root of what it is, then bam, the physical manifestation is changing. Oh, all of a sudden I feel motivated to go to the gym because I really worked on my solar plexus, specifically around my lack of self-worth. All of a sudden I don't feel like I need to emotional eat because I balance my sacral chakra and I allow myself now, my sacral chakra is where we have our emotions. And I allow myself to feel my emotions, to process them fully, and I nurture myself. And all of a sudden, I don't feel the need to go to food for that. And I'll probably make a whole YouTube video about addiction specifically because that goes deep and that's like really big. And, of course, speaking to it from an energetic standpoint, like I'm usually, talking about in my videos. So if you're someone that have issues sticking to your diet, sticking to your gym routine, whatever it is, look into the energy centers, and what's the root of that. Because if we keep trying to just fix the symptom and we're not going to the root cause, guess what? It's always going to stay there because we're not looking at the root cause. We're not transmuting that energetic blueprint in the root cause. And no matter how much let me know, please, in the comments below. Let me know if this is something that you have experienced or people who have experienced this in their lives. Like, I tried this and I tried that and I tried this and nothing is working. And and maybe you're someone who went to the root cause and you healed it and you felt the difference. So I would love to know. Please let me know in the comments below. And by the way, if you found this video helpful so far, I would really appreciate if you give it a like. The other thing that is really, really, really important that I really want to speak to, and that's actually the reason why I wanted to make this YouTube video, is what is the energy that you come with when you work out and eat healthy? So I'll just give you a little story and like a little example. You could see two people that they work out exactly the same, they eat exactly the same, and they even have the same weight on the scale. However, person number one is doing it from a place of fear, fear of gaining weight, fear of being sick, fear of not finding love, fear of this, fear of that. And the other person is doing it from a place of love. The other person is doing it because they love themselves. They honor themselves. They appreciate their body, that their body's working 24/7 for who knows how many years, however old you are, nonstop. And they appreciate their body and they want to feed their body like with good, nutritious food. And they want to move their body in ways that is healthy for their body because they love their body and they honor their body and they respect their body. Two people look exactly the same. Maybe they don't look the same energetically. They probably don't look the same energetically because if you do something from a place of love, and I literally have example from my own journey because there was times that I was working out like crazy and I would eat like, super strict and I looked good, in terms of weight, but you could see energetically my face was kind of bloated and like, just energetically something was kind of like not really clear or clean. And now it's different. Now it's like, first of all, I don't work out as much, like crazy. I don't eat as crazy, like, I kind of allow myself to eat whatever my body just wants to eat. I eat chocolate every day. I just like allow myself to eat whatever my body wants to. Of course, I choose always to put food that is clean in terms of ingredients in my body because again, I respect and love my body and it's automatically I choose to put stuff like that in my body because it's not come from a place of fear, so it's way easier for me too. So of course, if you look at those people, they would look different energetically to you, but maybe they'll look the same in terms of their body weight. They'll look the same in terms of yeah, like what they're doing and like their muscle definition. However, they're gonna look different energetically, and the most important thing, they're gonna feel different. Like I can say because I've been on both ends. Like when I worked out and ate healthy from a place of fear, this was freaking a hassle. That was so mean to myself. I used to the message behind is like you have to do it. You have to do it. Like you know prove yourself or like very harsh intense messages, and now it's very nurturing, loving. So it used to be like more like a masculine, aggressive type of message when I used to approach this whole thing, and now it's more nurturing and loving, more feminine energy coming from more that place. So there's the feminine, masculine energies, but there's also the fear and love, which is two different things. And the thing that I really want to invite you is to look into what energy do you come with when you choose to work out and eat healthy. What are the messages behind the scenes that you're telling yourself that you have to do it? Is there messages of fear or is there messages of love? And this goes again to everything else in your life that can come up for you. Like think of okay, like working, like literally making money. Do you work because you have the messages because you like, oh, I have to make money because I'm afraid that I'm not gonna have, I'm not gonna be able to pay my bills and I'm gonna be homeless and I'm not gonna be able to eat and I'm not gonna be able to enjoy life, so I'm afraid to have to work because this or that? Or do you come with messages of, oh, I work because I want to make money because I want to love myself on it. Like I deserve it. I deserve to make money. I deserve to, to have like a lifestyle where I can afford to go to a massage once a month or whatever it may look like for you, or a facial or whatever it may look like for you. I I I deserve it. I mean, it's like and of course, if you have like a certain relationship with your workplace, with your job, that's a whole different story. I'm not really talking about that. If you're someone like, oh, I really want to find my purpose. I work in an office that I really don't like that. I hate the job. How can I come from a place of love? I'm not talking about that. This is going to be a whole different video, but I'm talking about what is the energy that you're coming from to the thing. Like, of course, I could tell you, like, try to find things that you do love about this job, and maybe try to find in your free time, find time to do things that you do love and feel passionate about, just so you can kind of balance it. Find the time to do it because this is the most important thing that you would want to do. Always to follow your passion and your excitement because that will lead you to the most amazing places. But this video is not about that. This video is about, do you come from an energy of fear or from an energy of love to whatever it is that you're doing? Even with like relationships, with like, let's say you have a partner and you want to tell them something, and maybe there's like a subtle energy behind that you're telling that to them from a place of fear. Let's say you have fear of abandonment and you are afraid that your partner is going to leave you. So you have this protective, I'm like, actually, I should speak as me because this is something that I've personally experienced because my big thing is like fear of abandonment. So I should probably say me. I'll just give you an example from my life. And my protective mechanism was to speak to my partner in a way that is going to push him away. So I will push him before he's going to push me because the fear of rejection and the abandonment is so big. So I'll tell him something that's going to push him away, and then I will be okay. And that is coming from an energy of fear, right? Coming from an energy of fear. It's very subtle. So if you're not someone that has practiced it, I want to invite you to start noticing and do self-inquiry and ask yourself, like, Where is it coming from? What is the message behind it? On the other side, I can come and, maybe I was hurt with something that he did, my partner, and then if I come from an energy of love, the way it looked like for me in my relationship is to, from a place of honoring myself. Honoring myself, hey, babe, this I feel hurt when you speak this way, and this is, I'm not like, whatever, I'm just giving you, I'm throwing an example, like I can think of something like from the top of my head, but the idea is to really say what I like, coming from a place of honoring myself. But it's not necessarily mean, like, honoring myself doesn't mean that I am putting my other, like, the other person down. It's like me sharing my truth with vulnerability and say, hey, this is unacceptable. Like, I'm not accepting this kind of behavior or this kind of language, right? So just noticing, like, what is the energy that I'm coming from when I say something? Is it coming from an energy of fear, or is it coming from an energy of love? Honestly, usually if it's coming from an energy of love, the I guess I'll take it back. I was gonna say it. The language is probably gonna be a little bit different automatically, but it's not necessarily the truth, because sometimes you can come from an energy of love, but you can like be very protective of that, and so that it's just like another layer. That's just like a different layer that can kind of pop in, like a different part. Especially if you're more in the beginning of the journey of like learning to love yourself fully, right? So yeah, I just want to invite you to look into that. And I want to invite you, if you're someone that is having any of that coming up in your life around fitness or nutrition or anything that we spoke about, I want to invite you to check out the link in the description below. This is where you can find a link to for a discovery call with me. It's a free call where we can go over what you got going on and what you want to work on, because all of these things that I talked about in this video and all of my other videos, this is the work that I do with my clients. This is the work that I'm here to do on this planet, and really working with the chakras, with the energy centers, really dive into the root cause of whatever it is, the root cause of that's bringing up all these symptoms. Even talking about stress, anxiety, depression, those are just symptoms. It's symptom to a root cause that is sitting in our energy body, in our chakras. And once we go into our chakras and we're aligning that energy and balancing those energies within us, then it creates a shift, and then the physical manifestation or the symptoms are changing. The symptoms are going to vanish, and the physical manifestation is changing. And I always talk about it in my videos. So just want to invite you to check out the link in the description below. My website is also in the description below. And I do sessions online. Most of my clients are online. It's a beautiful process to join, where you can go, from your own comfort of your home. But I also do in person if you live in Austin, Texas. I really, if there's one thing I want you to take from this video is check in with yourself in every moment, however you can. Am I in energy of fear or an energy of love right now? Because guess what? The energy that you're going to come with into this world, every day you're going to show up with a certain energy. It goes so much more beyond just you and your experience. Like, you can choose your experience this way, but you will also affect the entire planet when you choose to come from an energy of fear or from an energy of love. Because when you come, because I say this a lot, we're all interconnected in the web of life on the planet. We're all one huge chunk of energy field, and we're all connected in the energy field. I know maybe for some of you it doesn't make sense because I have this body and I'm only like in this body, but in the unseen, there is infinite energy field, and we're all connected. We're connected to the earth. We got disconnected. We got disconnected from the society and generational trauma and generational programming. We moved away from that connection. We moved away from that truth. So it's like sometimes can be like, for me, I know it was for me in my beginning of my journey. It's like, but that's the work. The work is to reconnect with our bodies, is to reconnect with the earth, is to reconnect with the truth of who we are, that is already here, that is already whole. We just moved away from it. We just need to come back to it. because we moved away because of generational programming, generational trauma, templates, stories, whatever it may be, society programming, past lives, anything like that. And we are all interconnected in infinite one energy field. And in that energy field, whatever it is that we're putting in the energy field is going to affect, first of all, again, us, but then our surrounding, the people around us, and even people that we're never going to meet, that live 10,000 miles away, we are impacting them. So I just want to invite you to choose wisely and to check in with yourself. Where is my energy today? And if you feel like your energy is in fear and you're stuck in fear and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to get out of that, that's okay. At least you're aware of it, because awareness is the first step. Is more than 75% of the process. Once you're aware, you have something to work with. Again, if you're aware, okay, I'm in fear and I'm stuck in it and I can't get out of it, the next step for me, I want to ask you, what is your relationship to fear? What is your relationship to that fear? Because there is nothing wrong with fear necessarily. Whenever we have a good relationship with fear, we can easily, smoothly work with it. But whenever we are afraid of fear, but whenever we have fear of fear, that's when things are a little tricky, because there's fear of fear. How do I? So that's when we need to work on our relationship to fear, so you can go into the fear. Because fear, if fear is there always to guide us back to ourselves. Fear, and I'm going to make a whole YouTube video about fear, because I spend months diving into the concept of fear, and I found some like fascinating things in fear. So if you're noticing there's nothing to like, oh, how can I shift and change? Just be curious about it. Start diving into it. Journal about it. Meditate on it. And if you need support, if you need help, I'm here to support you, or you can find someone else to support you. But if you notice like you have that energy of fear, you don't have to like, oh my God, this is the end of the world, this is bad. The first step for you is to be aware of it. That's like huge. The awareness is huge. That's most of it, right? So I just want to invite you to do like a little self-inquiry and just check in with yourself. I know we're talking specifically about fitness and nutrition in this video, but this really goes to every area of your life, every situation. So thank you so much for watching again and for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day.